Hello everyone, welcome to FC Amakhosi fan channel. This is Sunday Jolly. Like, comment, subscribe. I remember when I used to play for this team when I was still playing in university. We used to call ourselves professional player boys. I don't know how the name came about, but the guy who came up with the name, it was Nduduzo. I think I was stubborn. But yeah, anyway, back to why I'm sharing this. There was a guy that we used to play with. That guy made me to love football. Like, he made me to enjoy my varsity days. He made me to enjoy my varsity days because, yeah, when it comes to soccer, I really enjoyed myself. Like, I regret nothing when it comes to playing soccer at university. Yes, at times, probably one could have balanced school and soccer very well, but yeah. Nonetheless, here I am now. I'm now talking about soccer, something that I'm still passionate about, that I still play now and again, that we won a staff league last year. Hopefully, this time around, once I've settled in my new job, as I told you that I got a new job, I'll continue to play. Yeah, I still enjoy soccer. I still love soccer. I still watch soccer. Like, yeah. But yeah, by the way, this guy, Andy Lemtule, who used to play number 10. So I'm going to be talking about number 10, Cam, as some call it, like in short, central attacking midfield, or AM attacking midfielder, like no matter what you call it, but yeah, it's the attacking midfield. So this guy made me to love soccer. We used to play like this. So we play 4-4-2 most of the time, and then now and again we'll change to 4-5-1, but still we play like this. So if I'm ahead of him, I'll say, dude, please make sure that you stay. And he'll do the job. He was very good, guys. I've never seen such a player, like with my own eyes, or shared a field with such a player. Like, this is not me exaggerating, but this is me saying this. I've seen players out there, and I've played against players out there. If you know Bongalo Chai, do you remember the guy who used to play for Maritzburg United, and he played for Vet, and then he played for Kaizer Chiefs. He had a short stint. I played against that guy. So at varsity we played against each other, and yeah, he was good. He was very good, a speedy wing and a good finisher and a dribbler, but still he did not come close to Andy Lemtule. Andy Lemtule, if you watch Teko Modi's General, that guy played for me. He played like the General. He played like Teko Modise, if not more. The guy had speed, had ball control, had a pass, he had a skill, he had an eye for goal. Like, he could dribble, he could, yeah, like guys, believe you me, I've seen and I played against top players, but that guy, he takes the cup. He takes the cup. I remember when 2007 we won the league, internal league, and then we went to play with other teams who were number ones and number twos in other three campuses. So it was a 4-campus tournament. We used to call it Chamber of Champs, which is like your Champions League. We used to go and play at Auckland Park, and we played against other campuses or other teams that won in other campuses, number one, number two. We lost in the semi-final the first time around 2007. So in 8, we lost in the semi-final again. That time, Andy Mdule was there. Yeah, this guy, I think he scored a goal and created, if I'm not mistaken. This is like from 2009, guys. I don't remember. Like, that's how far it's been. Like, in that game, second half, I was cramping. Like, I was cramping because him and this other guy, Njabulo Mkhone, they'll go in the front. He don't come back, and I was like running that midfield, like I was cramping, guys, like cramping. The game would stop because I was cramping. Because why? The second half we played for like almost an hour, if not more than an hour. Like, second half alone, we played for an hour, if not more. And by that time, I was really fit. I was still playing I was playing in this inter-league, and I was playing for the squad, UJ squad. And we used to do very well because Andy was also playing in the UJ squad, but the one that was based in Soweto campus. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm talking about the attacking midfielder. And you know, when God says that, you know what, in as much as you are talented, multi-talented here and there and there and there, and he says you are not gonna be a soccer player For whatever reason, you're not going to be a soccer player. And I think that was the case for this guy. I don't know. It could be that the other things probably, it was an issue of him not being well scouted because the guy was top notch. But anyway, I'm talking about this Tanzania today. Why am I talking about this in Tanzania? Because all of us are raving about him, how he played, and if we should be the number 10 going forward for us. I'm going to talk about him, and then I've done a bit of research on what role does the number 10 play, like what influence do they have in the field of play. But for now, let me tell you about how I see number 10s, and then I'm gonna read an article that talks about number 10 attacking midfielder AM CM. We're gonna go into that. So this is mine, and then I'm gonna share what this article talks about when it talks about the role of the attacking of an attacking midfielder. So mine was like, number 10 makes the team tick. This is the guy that you go to. This is the guy that you build our team around. This is a guy who will make us tick. This is a guy who will make us like be a threat, who will make us to score. If not, if he's not the one who's scoring, he's the one who's creating. So this guy initiates play. So meaning what? This is the guy who will just make sure that he plays on the wing, he plays on the right, he plays central with the other forwards there. He plays with those guys. Like whenever the forwards other attacking midfielders have the ball, they'll look for this guy. Look for this guy because he's close to to the striker now, and the striker will always look for this guy. They'll be playing more like a twin strikers, but the attacking midfielder will be behind him to make sure that they score those goals. So this is the guy who has an eye for goal as well. So our number 10s, we talk about number 10s and say these guys are best number 10s, but the current crop of number 10s, they don't score. They hardly score. They hardly score goals. But the best number 10, like I'll tell you who's the best number 10 in the world at the current moment. I'll tell you who's the best current number 10 in this current generation. But yeah, he has an eye for goal. This is a guy who creates, but he also has an eye for goal. So he's a creator, like I said. This is a guy who makes things happen. And he should be a dribbler. Like you can't be number 10, but you can't dribble, you can't take on players. And you must have that pass. You must have that pass. When we're talking about the pass, we're talking about your Modric kind of pass, your Messi kind of pass. We're talking about your Rodri's kind of pass. We're talking about Kevin De Bruyne kind of pass. We're talking about your Yendes kind of pass. We're talking about your Kongwane's kind of pass. We're talking about Deco's kind of pass. We're talking about, guys, I'll tell you these number 10s. I'll mention these number 10s. You must have a good ball control as well. Like, you must make sure, because we are playing in tight spaces, so you must make sure that you are able to, like, take on players, have that ball control, because already by the time that you trap the ball, already you're surrounded by other players. So you can just kill a player or just dribble a player by using just a touch. That's why for me, of late, I'm saying that Ngobo is not that number 10, because his current ball control, it looks suspect. Like each and every time the ball looks like it's bouncing off him, and then there'll be players around him. Like that's how Pirates beat us in the first game, that each and every time that he has the ball, like he'll fail to control it, and then they'll come and mark the ball. So you must have a good ball control. And you must be able to see other offensive players, have an eye for those passes, have an eye for those runs as well, have an eye for those runs to see a player coming from afar or a player making those shoulder runs. You must be able to make those passes, same time passes, or sometimes delayed a bit, and then you pass the ball. But you must make sure that you have an eye to see a run. So yeah, you make the team tick. So I'm gonna be mentioning just a few number 10s that I witnessed in our club. Do you remember Dr. Khumalo 16 Vivulaval? That guy who made Brazil to dance. Like that guy whom when Clive Barker rather substituted him, like the Bafana died. Then Brazil came back and they won 3-2. Do you remember Shoes Michel? Shoes Stasul. Do you remember him? Do you remember Ace Kus? Do you remember Thabo Moki? Do you remember Shakes Kungwani? Do you remember, like, guys, the list is endless. Those guys, they used to be feared. Those guys, they used to be feared because they had escape, they had the pass, they had the ball control, they had an eye for a pass, they had an eye for goal. Those guys used to make us fall in love with soccer. Actually, no, those guys, they made us, like, yeah, to be glued to our screens. If not to our screens, we are there in the stadiums. They are chanting our beloved team, and then we are calling these number 10s and number whatever, number 15, Dr. Kumala in our case. And then other teams, they had like your Teko Modise, General, one of the best players that we have ever produced. He boomed late, but still he made a mark in a short space of time. Now we're talking about your Mshini and then your Mbulezi. Those are guys who are best number 10s. At Kaizer Chiefs, there's no best number 10 as compared to your Teko Modise, compared to the older generation. The current team, the current Kaizer Chiefs team, like, let me mention the name and you tell me if they pose a fear or if they can threaten other teams out there if we were to talk or mention their names. Just mention their names. At like those days when you talk about Dr. Kumar, you know that the Pirates midfielders, they would not go running after him. They would have to first, like, really count and think that, can I go after this guy, or do I mark a space, or do I go pressing on this guy? If not, they'll receive a shibab. Tiki will be doing his Tiki will be doing all those things. Like, those used to be number 10s. So in the current teams, like, they don't strike any fear for me. Tanzania is the current number 10. Piduzi Tanzania. And Nkosimpile Ngobo. And then your Matlo. Some would say that Dolly as well, you can mention him there as well as number 10. Piduzi Shabala can mention them. But who is posing a threat? Who is striking fear on the opponents when we talk about such names in our team? We don't have a best number 10. Yes, I'm going to talk about this guy. I'm going to talk about Ntanzane because of how he played the previous game. But we don't have that player who poses a threat. Someone who scores goals, someone who creates goals, someone who take on players, someone who has a run for, who has an eye for. An oncoming player, like, who's playing on the shoulders to finish those beautiful one-on-one. Someone who's able to create one-on-one chances. Matlo, we are robbed of him because of whatever that is happening behind the scenes, and also the injuries. The injury that he has currently, like, yeah, it has taken him out for a long time on the field of play. But for me, as I've been saying, I've said this time and time again, he's the best current number 10 that we have. It's good that Shinam Tanzania is raising his socks, and how he played against Pirates, one would say that, you know what, no, we see that this guy is hungry. But here's the thing that I'll ask you. He's about to enter into his 30s now. He's 29. Sorry, he was 29, was born in 94. Was born in 94. Was born in 94 December. So meaning what, in December, this December is going to be turning 30. So he's not that young anymore when you're talking about football age. He's not that young anymore. Can he carry us? Can he carry the team to his shoulders? How he played against Pirates, like, he made us tick. He made us tick. He was involved in that goal where the one that he passed it to Modi, and Modi passed it to Dupreez. He was involved with that goal, the second goal. Bad. And every time that he has the ball, like, you'll see him taking on players, you'll see him passing, you'll see him even, like, driving with the ball, because that's another thing about number 10. They have to be able to drive with the ball, to attack spaces, to attack opponents, and not be fearful. Every time you get the ball, you pass it backwards. You get the ball, you are always looking to pass it, but you can't control the tempo of the game. And also, yes, the number 10 needs to be able, or is a player who should be able to control the tempo of the game. But do we have someone like that? So Tanzania played very well, but my question is, will he be there in the second game? Will he be around? Will he stay fit? And his off the field incidents where he was caught drunk, has he dealt with that? Is that behind the scenes? Is that behind him now to say that, you know what, going forward, that you'll be available for selection and you'll be fighting for selection? And can you make that number 10 your own? I'm praying and I'm hoping that he can make that number 10 his own, because in the current team, it's there to be taken. That number 10 position is there to be taken. Can he take it? It's promising that he can take it based on the performance that he had in a previous game. It was a gamble for a coach to play a guy who hasn't been around for like months and months, if not more than 6 months. It was a gamble and it worked, but will it work going forward? And what happens if he's out of form? What happens if he gets suspended? If he gets injured, what happens? We need to start thinking about, I've been saying combinations. We need to start talking about combinations and building a team around the number 10. If we can build our team around number 10, this team can perform better. Show confidence on the guys, like build that confidence in them, because we look like we're not playing with confidence at the moment. We don't want to lose, but at the same time we can't score. And we don't have someone who's creative, who's controlling the game and who's spotting those runs. Like Dupree's, he was gonna be like full. He was gonna be full. Like he had the number 10, like who was able to spot his runs.